I made a trios challenge that requires brawlers to run and get their super and then deliver it to the heist safe. The trios will all be timed to break the safe as fast as they can using nothing but their supers. Let's see who wins. As always, we'll be starting off with the Wild West trio, and if you know, they already have pretty deadly supers, so I'm expecting their time to be pretty good relative to others. So we're going to speed it up and watch them finish the safe. And they'll end up with just under 30 seconds. Don't let Leon's uselessness fool you. For the Shaman tribe, they have Nita, who doesn't even really need a second super, and Bo, who's able to use his gadget to keep blowing up the mines on the safe, and as a result, they're able to bring it down in a bit over 16 seconds. As deadly as Bull's attack is, this challenge is about supers, so he isn't playing that big of a role, but they still have BB and Crow who are able to do a lot of damage with each individual super, and they can bring down the safe in a bit over 17 seconds. Now we get to watch the Junker family, where Jesse and Pam get to drop one individual turret and let that do the work for the rest of the match, while it's in Nani's best interest to spam supers as opposed to using the autofocus star power, and as a result they're able to win in about 18 seconds. I don't even think I need to speak for the arcade trio. All three of them have a star power that will increase their supers output, and as you can see, after the first cycle of their supers, the safe is below half health, which means it just takes them 2 laps, and as a result, they're able to bring down the safe in a bit over 12 seconds. Due to the lack of any damage output on Jackie's super, she leaves the Gem Miner trio to just Dynamite and Carl, and even though they have pretty deadly supers themselves, it still takes them a long time to bring down the safe. They end up receiving the shameful result of being the first trio to take longer than 30 seconds to bring down the safe. Next up we have the Pirate trio, where Penny's able to drop some turrets and use some gadgets while Tick can throw his head at the safe, but Daryl's super just doesn't really do anything, and as a result it takes them over 34 seconds to fully bring it down. Somewhat surprisingly, the Undead Trio's run was a disaster, but it starts to become understandable when you consider the fact that all three of them have supers geared towards hitting numerous targets, and as a result it takes them over a minute and a half to destroy the heist safe. Even though they have Poco with Screeching Solo and El Primo with his Fire Star power, the Mexican Entertainers trio actually struggled as well, enough to the point where they were running back and forth gathering supers for nearly a minute just to destroy the heist safe. Despite the struggle of filling Piper's super, the Townsfolk trio still took a long time to break the heist safe, even though they have relatively high damage. Either way, it takes them over 40 seconds to bring it down altogether. I want you to just take a minute and look at the trio that's about to take on the safe. That's right, the only one that can do any work is B, and she does 1050 damage per super. Let's just say they didn't even finish. But after some small calculations, I've estimated their time to be about 331 seconds, or 5.5 minutes. Luckily though, the next trio will do pretty good. We have Colette here, who seems to have it all figured out, and Griff, who has a pretty deadly super already. Even though Edgar's only does 1000 damage, the trio is able to destroy the safe in 24 seconds. The Mystic Wanderers are lucky that Terra has the Black Portal star power, because otherwise they would take a long time. Either way, Jean's Spirit Slap doesn't work on the safe, and let's face it, Root Sense isn't really doing anything. And as a result, the trio can break the safe in about 34 seconds. Even though Max's super doesn't do any damage directly, she's still able to speed up the other superheroes and allow the Meg to swing at the super faster and allow Surge to jump on the safe faster, but either way, they still take a whopping minute 16 to break the safe. The Snowtail staff was lucky to have Mr. P on their team, because with his gadget and super, he definitely did most of the work. Let's face it, Alu and Gale super are not doing that much. But even with that, it still took them over 53 seconds to break the safe. Coming up next, we have the Star Force trio, where Squeak already has one of the deadliest supers there are. Eve gets a gear to add a 4th hatchling, and Colonel Ruffs, he gets... Hi everyone, my name is Jimbo. During this trial, I had one job, and that was to use Colonel Ruffs' Air Superiority star power. However, I failed to do so. So I paused it here, and this is the score that the Star Force trio gets. Now we have the Stunt Show team, and I angled it up against the corner so Janet could land all the bombs from her super onto the safe. Needless to say, she's stuck with Bonnie and Stu, whose supers are just not that good, and they end up taking a bit over a minute to destroy the safe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the last but brand new trio, the Star Theater trio. They get Buster, whose super doesn't do anything, and then Fang and Maisie, whose supers have oddly low damage to the target, and they end up taking nearly 2 minutes to completely destroy the safe. And here you have it, the leaderboard for this challenge. We have the Arcade trio taking first place, followed by the Shaman Tribe, Retropolis Gang, Junker Family, and then Star Force in 5th place. Did it surprise you that the arcade trio won? Anyways, that is all I have for today. I'm very excited that we put the Star Theater trio into their very first challenge. As always, I'd like to thank you very much for sticking to the end, and I will see you later. Peace out.